Syrian Arab Army eliminates many terrorists from ISIS and al-Nusra, including Saudis. Saudi airstrikes continue on Yemen, killing increasing numbers of civilians. Iran's nuclear talks enter a critical phase, and Tehran stresses adherence to its rights. Good afternoon. Syrian Arab Army units continued their advance in the western mountains of al-Zabadani, killing many terrorists from al-Nusra and the so-called Ahrar al-Sham. Army units also destroyed the terrorist hideouts and gatherings in farms and villages in eastern Ghouta, killing terrorists from the so-called Jaish al-Islam and Ajnad al-Sham, and also conducted a tight ambush, eliminating terrorists who tried to sneak from eastern Ghouta towards al-Admir in Damascus countryside. In al-Qunaytara countryside, Syrian Arab Army units destroyed 3 hideouts and a mortar gun launcher of al-Nusra in Mashara village and northeast of Tel Ahmar. Syrian Arab Army units also killed many terrorists from al-Nusra in Jalin, Da'il and Tafas in Daras countryside, and thwarted 2 infiltration attempts by terrorists into the secure areas in Dar'a al-Balad. In Idlib, Syrian Arab Army units eliminated many terrorists, including Abu al-Mu'tasim al-Shami, who was in charge of security issues for the so-called Ahrar al-Sham during battles that took place at Bab al-Hawa border crossing. The battles also resulted in the killing of al-Nusra leader, who was dubbed as Abu al-Wafa al-Nasri, as well as many others. Governor of Hama, Dr. Ghassan Khalaf, emphasized the governorate's readiness to receive all families who were displaced from Idlib as a result of terrorist crimes. During his tour in the sheltering centers in Jurin, Ain Salma, Shatha, and Neba Ain al-Tayyib, Dr. Khalaf asserted that the governorate is in full readiness to provide all needed support for the displaced families. For their part, the displaced citizens confirmed their support for the Syrian Arab Army that helped them and assured their safe arrival to secure areas. Speaker of the People's Assembly, Mohammed Jihad al-Laham, said that the Western plans to train and arm elements labeled by the West as moderate opposition in Turkey and Saudi Arabia constitute a cover for supporting terrorism and chaos in Syria, and that these plans are a blatant violation of international law and the UN Charter, and they must stop immediately. Delivering Syria's speech at the Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union currently being held in Vietnam, al-Laham said that any war on terrorism in Syria cannot succeed without coordination and cooperation with the Syrian government. He noted that Syria had often appealed to the world and warned it against the threat of cross-border terrorism. Yet, despite the world acknowledging the spread of terrorism and despite the heinous atrocities committed by terrorist organizations like ISIS and al-Nusra, international counterterrorism efforts remain underwhelming and shackled by Iranian policies. 9 terrorists have been killed, among them the commander of the battalion of Uqba bin Nafa, in fierce clashes with the Tunisian security forces in Sidi Aish in Kafsa province, southwest of Tunisia. The capital, Tunisia, has witnessed a mass rally under the motto "Challenge and the World is Bardo." The demonstrators denounced the crime perpetrated by Bardo Museum. Moreover, they raised the Syrian flag in an act of solidarity with Syria. A number of senior officials, presidents, ministers, and parliamentarians have taken part in the rally. Britain's Foreign and Commonwealth Office has acknowledged in a report that ISIS has been continuously smuggling Syria and Iraq's ruins and monuments to finance its terrorist activities. The report went on to say that despite the prevailing belief that ISIS is funding itself mainly by smuggling oil and gas, it is Britain's responsibility to take all necessary measures to ensure that ISIS does not get the money, which in turn ensures that it will no longer be able to continue carrying out its heinous crimes. The Saudi pilot whose jet fighter was shot down yesterday by the Yemeni air defense has been captured near Al-Thawra port city in the capital Sana'a. A security source has indicated that the Saudi pilot's name is Khalid al-Miqabi. It is to be noted that Saudi jet fighters renewed their raids on Yemen, targeting more areas in Ma'rib, Al-Hudaydah, Ta'az, Zumar and other areas in the capital Sana'a. Iranian Assistant Foreign Minister Abbas Arqaji has underlined that there would be no two-stage agreement on Iran's nuclear file. He pointed out that efforts are being exerted to find solutions for all problems regarding this file and then to be frameworked in a written document. Noteworthy is that Iranian negotiators have confirmed that no agreement has been reached yet and that rumors are being spread for certain political purposes. The branches of the National Union of Syrian Students and Damascus Institutes organized various activities, among them a students' meeting and an art exhibition marking the Arab Students' Day. Secretary of Al-Ba'ath Arab Socialist Party Wa'el al-Imam visited the exhibition, which was held at the Institute of Fine and Applied Arts. The exhibition reflects that the pulse of life still beats warm within Syria's students, despite the various hardships they face under the ongoing terrorist war in the country. Some of the paintings depict aspects of terrorism, sabotage and destruction ravaging the country, while others embody the heroism of the Syrian army personnel in the battles against the terrorists all over the country. Basmat Shabab Syria, Fingerprint Youth Syria and Sednaya Towns Administration held an event under the title With Our Elderly We Get Bigger.
The event was attended by Journalists Union Chairman, Arab Socialist Ba'ath Party's Damascus leadership member, and a number of residents of Sednaya town. During the opening speeches, speakers asserted Sednaya's steadfastness and sacrifices, in addition to the important role of Sednaya's residents to preserve the holy places of the town and its social texture.
We honor the elderly men who stood by the Syrian soldiers wherever they were, in addition to honoring the ladies of Sednaya who were a warm shoulder for the Syrian soldiers. This has created a feeling of unity among Syrians and showcased the strength of the Syrian mothers.
We have organized this event to honor our men who understood since the beginning the dangerous conspiracy hatched against our country. They have stood firm in the face of terrorist attempt to infiltrate into Sednaya and preserved its holy places.
Syrian Fingerprint Youth are honor the old men who stand up by the Syrian army hand by hand to protect our homeland. We didn't see in them but only the spirit of youth, although the women who were as their mothers, who dedicated themselves to help this man and army.
In the ceremony, Sednaya's ladies and mothers were honored. They stood by Syrian soldiers, helping and supporting them, in addition to providing them with food and care they need.
With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news, but after a short break. Welcome back. Al-Balad News learned that Damascus governor took a decision to distribute ownership bonds to right holders in the area behind Al-Razi starting from next Wednesday. The distribution would be completed within 2 months until end of May. The people who have the right to get bonds are 18,000 beneficiaries. 3,000 bonds would be distributed daily according to a programmed turn system. The People's Assembly discussed a host of issues of concern to citizens, listening to the Ministers of Justice, Internal Trade and Consumer Protection, Finance, Industry and Transport about the performance of their ministries. The members' queries focused on the importance of offering all support to national economy to re-energize the national production process and protect national economy. The Assembly also emphasized the importance of meeting the needs of citizens, fighting corruption and crisis exploiters, delivering basic goods and enhancing the Syrian people's steadfastness. And now over to some main currencies exchange rates according to the bulletin of the Central Bank of Syria. With this, we conclude our news. Thank you for watching and goodbye.